Hey people in YouTube land, Zach Halls back here with another review. Thought I'd bring you kind of a special and kind of cool review today. Something I thought about doing a little while back. What I got here before us is a exact replica of a 1611 King James Version Bible page. So I'll give you the history behind how I attained this page. I went to a thing called Passages here in Springfield, Missouri, and that's where the Hobby Lobby CEO and owner, he bought over 40,000, actually it's over 400,000 Bible articles and artifacts. And at Passages that they set up here in Springfield, he published or displayed 40,000 of those artifacts. And so I got to go through that Bible museum, small little Bible museum that they set up, and I got to see Torahs and Greek manuscripts, the Dead Sea Scrolls, got to see part of those. I've got to see different Bibles that famous people owned. He had Elvis Presley's Bible on display, Abraham Lincoln's Bible. There was a cool little deal about John Knox and preaching, him preaching. It was like set up in a little stage like an 1800s Presbyterian church, and he was preaching, and he was robotic, and you could sit down and listen to a sermon. They had a room where the King James translators were debating about what words to use in the Bible and how to translate certain things. And then one of the rooms, they had a Gutenberg press, where they were replicating the Gutenberg press. And so what they did was they were printing off King James pages with that press, and so they would use the old press type and wheel it down and press the letters and everything on the page, and you could see how they would put the ink and stuff on it, and then they would press it and pull it off, and it was from that I got this. And just to let you know, Passages is opening up a bigger Bible museum in Washington, D.C. that opened in November. And it's going to be huge. And I encourage you guys to go check that out. It's a Bible museum in Washington, D.C., where he's going to display almost all of those 400,000 artifacts. So that's pretty cool. But this is the page where I got that from Passages, where they printed it off from the Gutenberg press using the same type of printing press style. So you can kind of see from there that it's kind of faded in some spots where the ink didn't get as much, and bolder in other spots. But because it's also a 1611 Bible page, you can kind of see how the letters are a little bit different. So for example, this is fasting, but they use two F's. So back in the 1600s, they used the same letters to do certain things. So this is supposed to read fasting, and it looks like it says fafting or something like that. But just to show you, so I was talking about in one of my videos how the translational notes in the Concord and from the Cameo and different Bibles like that are King James, like the Greek translations, how they're from the original 1611. So this is actually an original 1611 translation from the translators. And so this is Matthew chapter 6, verse 2. And so here's my trusty Concord here. So we're going to turn to Matthew chapter 6, verse number 2. And so we're going to see here, it says, "Or cause not a trumpet to be sounded," is the reference note in Matthew 6 and verse 2. Okay, now we're going to come over here to the original 1611 Bible page. And this is the same thing. Or cause. Now see, they used an F for an S. Remember, so up here, so for fasting, it looks like an F. So this cause, it's C-A-U, it looks like an F and then an E, but it means cause. So, or cause. And we see here, not a trumpet to be sounded. Again, there's the F for the S. So it's actually sounded instead of founded. So, or cause not a trumpet to be sounded. Just like it is here in the Cambridge Concord. As you can see, that's a lot more readable. Cause not a trumpet to be sounded. So I just want to show you guys that, because a lot of times I know people freak about the translational notes in the King James, but not to worry. It's from the original 1611 translators. So it's pretty cool, though. I just want to kind of give you guys a view of this. So here they have the chapter introduction. It's pretty cool. So you can see here the ornament drop cap here. That's really cool looking. So it says, "Take heed that ye do not do your alms before men, to be seen of them." So you can kind of see it's got an extra E on seen and an F for there. So you can see there's just Awesome how this is an old Gothic font. It's kind of hard to read, but so it says, therefore, when thou doest thine alms, let's see here, it says, oh, do not sound a trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do, in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory of men. Verily, I say unto you, they have their reward. So it's kind of cool. It's a little hard to read, and the letters are kind of switched a little bit, but it's really cool just to have this little piece of history. I couldn't even imagine printing a Bible like this today when we have all the technology we do, and we can mass produce anything, where they took time to put the letters in themselves and press each page. It's pretty cool. So you can see some of the references there. Oh, and then, so they didn't do italics back in the day. So what they would do is, if it wasn't in the original Greek or Hebrew, they would put it in a normal style font. So you can see that all of this is Gothic, which indicates that they translated this from the Greek directly into English. Then the words that are not in the Greek are then put in regular font, so that when you're reading, you know that this was not a part of the original, but added because it's needed for understanding in the English language. So that's really cool. The King James has always been a pretty honest translation as far as that goes. And so that's just a really cool thing to see, the different aspects of this Bible page here. But yeah, I just kind of want to give you guys a video update of this. I thought it'd be pretty cool just to see this little piece of history. And encourage you, if you haven't checked out the Bible Museum, Washington, D.C. that they're doing, to look that up. And if you can go, it'd be really cool to see that. I know Passages was just awesome. I mean, we spent hours in there looking at different manuscripts. And I mean, sometimes I'm talking about just pieces of papyrus that had a couple letters scribbled on it that was like a part of John or something. Really cool historical things in there. The different got to see the Torahs and all that stuff in like gold casings and rolled up, and just looked really prestigious. And then you had like the mechanical puppets that would move and do things and talk to you. And they even had a place actually where you could act like a scribe, and you could write out different manuscripts and stuff with a pen and ink and see how well you did. So it was pretty cool experience. And so now they moved all that to Washington, D.C. That's going to be where their permanent museum will be. And on the doors of the museum, actually, they have all of Exodus chapter 20 in Hebrew, which includes the Ten Commandments. So that's pretty cool. Just support them, go look at that, check it out for yourself. But I want to just see so you can see this page. It's really cool. It's a really, really big page. So, like, there's the Concord. That's the whole Bible, and this is still that whole page. So it's pretty cool. But, yeah, I just want to give you guys this update so you could see it. Hope you enjoy this. I hope you have a good night, and God bless.